Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm missing my daughter. They all left me and went overseas.
Well, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Not that far.
Yeah.
So I was like thinking, right? What should we do? Also, this episode comes after our first 1 week break that we've done since starting the podcast. So maybe it's a new season for us.
New season? Okay. I can do that.
Just in the iteration of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something a bit different. So we received a very long email. I was thinking about what we should do the topic about. And I think this is more interesting than anything I could have thought of. So this person wrote us a very long email. She was talking about her life. And she titled the email, The Third Decade.
The third decade.
Yeah.
What does that
So
mean?
she's in her 30s, 31. She's 31 or 32. She's 32. She lives in, she's Malaysian living in Australia. She's a doctor and she loves our pod. And she said that it kept her going, replacing the conversations she no longer has with her father, listening to our conversations. So she's been working at a doctor. That's why she moved to Australia. And then, as time goes on, she's, what am I doing? I think obviously working as a doctor is a very demanding career. You're kind of in it. She repeatedly fell into slumps of depression and procrastination. She started burning out, feeling disconnected. She was so fiercely pursuing her career. What about her own life? And then she tried to invest in her relationships, and then she had a relationship that ended, and she was like heartbroken and lonely. She's less connected to her family because she's living overseas. Like, I think a part of what she's saying is, on the outside looking in, right? She's got it all. All the pressure to settle down. Why hasn't she found a partner? She's feeling the guilt, the blame. And I think she's just feeling a lot of like the 30-something pressure.
Mm.
And I'll keep referring back to her email, but maybe we can just start there so I'm not talking forever. So, okay, let me end it with a question. How can I reconsider this ever so confusing third decade in this new age that feels like it has yet to arrive or that we are missing out on while the clock ticks?
My first response, before you find your yes, you have to find your no. Here I bowed on this. Yes, she's gone through her teens, now 20 and then 30th. And there's all this pressure, I agree. You have to do this, you have to do that. And she doesn't find the zest for living. I'll address the zest for living. You know why the zest for living didn't happen? Why aren't you looking forward to life? You didn't say no to the right things. Only then you find the yes. When you find the yes, then there is a zest for living. But a yes doesn't come without a very clear no. So, knowing a little bit from what you're saying about her, it looks like this is an individual, this is a person who's honest. This person also knows what is imposed onto them as an idea and what they authentically seek. Right?
Mm.
The pressure she's feeling is an idea planted to you by the society.
But Appa, I feel the same pressure. I'm not 30 yet, not far from it. But does it matter that it's planted? I know it's planted. I know it doesn't matter. I know everything will work out. I still feel it too.
No, that is why you haven't said no rightly. The absence of the no is a yes. So you are saying, no, I have to conform. I have to follow. I have to hit the mark. I have to do this. That I have to, even though there is some truth to the I have to, but the I have to doesn't allow you to naturally be. Remember this, your life only happens when you say yes. Your life does not happen by I should. And the idea of I should is put on by everybody. And I'm not saying it's easy to go beyond the should. But you have to find your yes. In order to find your yes, what is that you are saying no to? Right? No,
Yeah.
I think one of the no's is I'm just not going to follow what everybody else is doing. I'm just not going to blindly follow and use that to feel okay. It's like you get married by 30, by 32 or 33, you have a child. What it's promising is when I follow that octave, I will feel okay. So you are not feeling okay, and that feeling of not okay is implanted onto you. Your path could be completely different. You are not even in the picture. But again, I understand this is very difficult. Because everywhere around you, like if you watch you, all your friends are getting married, having children. Good for them. But there is an implied that, why aren't you having it? It's like if all your friends have a car and you don't have a car, you want to take the public transport, automatically you feel like, I should have had a car. Follow. That is not wrong. But you haven't found your yes. If you find your yes, then anything else doesn't matter. Then you know how to navigate. So what I'm saying is, see whether you can get this. What is the yes that is yet to be birthed? When you have the yes, the should will not be the only overpowering thing. Like I'm sure I'm using this girl. It's a girl, right? She studied and she became a doctor. I'm sure, I don't know what she has to go through for that. She's in another country. She's now settling there, working.
And she makes a point here. I find myself fading into the outer circle of social groups.
What does that mean?
Like as in like amongst her friends, she just feels like she's just kind of disappearing. In fact, the brief romantic contact proposed that maybe we can get married in the future if neither of us find anybody. You know, she's thinking about egg freezing, all of these things, and she's just like, what the heck is happening? How do I help myself navigate the loneliness? I think it's like there's definitely points in your life where I think you just feel left behind. And I think that's also what she's talking about.
No, it's because you haven't found your yes. When you find your yes, what is yours to do, you will not feel that. You will say, I'm different. It will be nice to have a child or it will be nice to be married, but it will not have an emotional impact. Like sometimes, let's say somebody is not married at this age or something, maybe I should have. Maybe you don't want to. You see, when you find your yes, you are immune to the should and the assault that comes with the should. What is your yes? But now, let me go on that line. In order to find your yes, you must find what you are saying no to. What you are rejecting. I don't want to be.
Can you give me an example? Like a small. I'm trying to think of one. I think I have one, but can you give an example?
A no?
Of a yes, something small.
You see, I said, Appa said yes to being free. Appa said yes to not being enslaved. And
that is humongous. That's huge.
No, from young. From not young, at a certain age, I said, I don't want to have a boss. I don't want to get into this corporate thing. I just could not do it. So it was easy to say no because my yes is, I wanted to keep my freedom and I paid the price for it. It would have been very nice by 25, you have a job, a proper job. By 30, you have a career building. I'm starting out at late. I'm broke at that age. But that being broke did not make me feel I was left out because I made a clear choice. I don't have a steady job or a profession or I'm a path that is very clear. Like if you see this girl, she's beautiful. At 31, she's a doctor. It looks like her future is set.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that at that age. But I had one yes. I don't care what happens. I want to be free. I don't care what happens. If I have to be broke, I am going to fight to do this. And in order to find that yes, I said no to following some idea that was set out there and I have to comply to it. So I said no to, in my own word, being enslaved. And I said yes to freedom. And then the should did not affect me as much. Right? The should did. If I said, at my age, I should be now planning my retirement. I
No,
don't
I'll see
have
what.
that. I don't
Go
have
ahead,
that
sorry.
idea. Sorry?
No, sorry.
No, I
No, I was
didn't.
just see what you mean by like you find your yes, you find your no, and like I think it's like also like it doesn't have to be such big things,
No,
right? It can
let's say,
start small.
if you don't say no to I don't want a stupid relationship, yes, I want to be with someone that means something to me. And if you haven't said that, then you will say, why am I not married?
Mm,
You understand? If you say, no, I'm not just going to marry somebody for being married, I'm not just going to have children just for having children. No. I want to have freedom. I really want to have a real relationship. Then you can withstand the assault. How many people get married or do things or go to university, get a job because they should, and then they end up waking up realizing, what have I done? And I'm saying the confusion happened. Did you discover your yes? And the way to discover your yes is, what are the no? Like, I'm no for slavery. I'm no for being bullied. I'm no for somebody being my authority, somebody deciding what is for me. No, I said no. I wanted to be free. You know what I mean?
yeah.
No, but it's not a
But I
big
think it's
subject,
also like
Apshi. You're making it a very big subject. It is not a big subject. Like, your yes is you want to be Apshi. You want to be free. You want to be how you are. You have your own terms and conditions, how you want to exist. And for that, you say no to anything that will sell your soul. And for that, if let's say you marry late or whatever happened, you will be able to survive it. If not, the I should can cause a lot of emotional damage. Then you're comparing yourself with another and looking at another and say, why am I not like that person? Why am I not having a job?
but I think like that's the problem, right? Also, we live in this time where you look on Instagram, you look here, you look there, everybody has it. I could look at her one day and think, damn, you're a doctor. You really are a grown up. You have your life together. What the hell am I doing with my life? Versus, we all are looking at each other in that way.
But that girl, the doctor has an opportunity, If even she asked this question, she has said yes to being honest. If not, this question couldn't have been born. And she
This
said
is a
no.
hard question to ask.
Yeah, that
And
means
she
that,
was very
she
honest.
is saying yes to being an honest person, yes to being real, and that's bravo. So she's saying no to being a lie, no to simply putting on a show. To me, wow, she saved a soul. And if she stays with that, all these shoots will not bother you that much. I'm sure it will bother you, but not that much. Not to the point you may sell yourself.
Yeah.
I'm asking you this question. How many get married or get a job or get a degree or do something because they should do? And what is the result of that I should has cost? What is the result? What is the price they pay? They might be emotionally depressed by 35.
And I also think there's a part of it, right? This feeling that she feels, right, is a partner, is a thriving social circle, all of those things, right? Yeah, it's going to make it easier to be distracted, but is it going to change this feeling?
Very good. Wow. That's a wow. Like
Slay.
what is
you.
your yes? No, what is your yes? You want to be you, darling. You are you. And
No,
since yeah.
Appa, like, sorry to interrupt, but I remember many episodes ago, I was talking to you about like how weird. Like, I was away out with my friends, and we were in a restaurant. We ordered a bottle of wine. They didn't charge us for the bottle of wine, and then I had to go back in the restaurant and be like, I need to pay for it. Like, I can't take it. But one of the friends I was with was like, why are you doing that? You're being so annoying. We got it for free. Blah blah blah. But then I just like have accepted that I cannot do it. I cannot. That is not me. It's a no. It's a no to do that. And I was with that same friend eating at a restaurant. And at the restaurant, when you stand in line, you can order drinks. We had ordered a couple of drinks, and we went in and we ate a bunch. And when we paid the bill, I noticed the drinks we had in line were not there. And I knew he would get annoyed at me. So we paid the bill. And then I quickly walked out in front of him, and I went to the waitress and I was like, hey, you didn't charge us for the drinks we had in line. I'll just pay for it. Like, I wasn't even going to ask him to pay me back. And she was like, don't worry about it. And then he was like, "Are you doing that thing again?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. That's who I am. I have accepted this about myself, and I don't care if you're going to get mad at me."
But you see, now you can survive the social pressure.
Yes.
So it's a question of...
It's so small. It's such a small thing, but I feel like that's how you find it, right?
Bingo.
Because I feel resolved. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
That's what your doctor friend who wrote to you has to come to. Let's say she doesn't get married. She marries at 40 or whatever. But she can survive that. You see, I wish her to be married tomorrow. If you ask me, I wish you are married tomorrow and I give me grandkids. I wish. But my wish means nothing. You understand? My point I'm making is surviving the assault. Surviving the feeling of being a loser. Surviving as though not having something. You see, even though we were relatively financially okay, for the last 30 years, we lived in the same house. Right, Apshi?
Yeah.
Because I was resolved. I didn't want to move. I don't want. Like I've got people who have a bigger house. I don't care. Now I have a house which is in 10 acres. I waited for you all to leave before I built it. I got 29 rooms and a saltwater swimming pool, and you guys don't get
But it's more fun when I'm there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, but you know why it didn't bother? Oh, why aren't you getting this? Why aren't you living like that? No, my yes is very clear. My yes is absolutely clear.
But this thing that she's feeling, right? This third decade, that it feels like it's yet to arrive, or that we are missing out on while the clock ticks. It's actually such a common feeling.
I'm sure, darling.
Like this 29, I'm telling you, I'm 29 right now. And the pressure you feel to get it all together, and the mania that comes from that pressure to get it all together.
No, you should. You should try to get it together, but not at the cost of your integrity. You rather be single, holding your integrity, than to sell your soul. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping it all will happen. It all will be right. You'll have the car, you'll have the husband, you'll have the children.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? You can get a job. Like if you say she has a job, but just say I'm looking for a job. You can get a job. Is it the job that you want? You can. There are so many people to date. You can get a boyfriend. Is it the boyfriend that you actually want? Though?
Very good. Now you have a standard, and for that, you'll pay the price you need to pay. And if you don't pay the price, you pay a bigger price of letting you down, of selling you. You understand? I'm saying your integrity is your yes, and that yes is not implanted by somebody. The yes is yours. You earn the yes. Right? But when just using Appa as an example, at 30, I think, 27 or something, I married, your mother was around. And I remember one time we were so broke, there was nothing there. I don't think before you came. And it was dark period, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing my thing, I'm studying, meditating, whatever. And I remember one point I say, if this is all my life is, I'm okay. I remember that was my pivoting, changing point. I always talk about it, no? I remember it was so dark, and I had that dog, that scruffy dog with me. And I was looking at the dog and me, and I say, we are same, aren't we? There's no one there. Nothing, you're not part of anything. But that moment, my yes survived. I said, it's okay. If I'm going to be a loser, if I'm not going to fit the society, if I don't meet all the mark, it's all good. I am choosing this. And do you know, everything started after I made that choice. After I made that choice, everything came right. So maybe today, with this question, maybe the topic is, what is your yes and what is your no? And then you see what is the social pressure. And I'm saying the social pressure you can only survive rightly if somehow you discover your yes. And a yes is not something you make up in your mind. Yes is you discover as you. You can't help it. Like you can't help it by Biapshi. Like yesterday I was telling someone, a couple of people were trying to interview me, and I was really not in a... I was like, I said, the only one can interview me is my daughter. It's not just because you're my daughter.
No, I can't, imagine that they're trying to interview you and you're like, only one who interview me is my daughter. And they're like, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah,
That is
I
not
know.
a skill I can improve upon.
Yeah. No, you know why? No? Because I think you will stick to your yes and no. You will say what you need to say. You're not necessarily obligated to agree with me or disagree with me. And maybe I can be honest too. I can disagree and agree. No, let me see whether I can put this through. Life only happens when I realize what I can't help it, and that what I can't help it becomes my living yes. And when there is a yes, you must be very clear what is a no. When you're clear what is a no, then you can survive everything no matter what happens.
And I kind of think like that's the fun of the 20s, right?
What is the fun of the two? It's so long ago for me, I can't remember, but tell.
It's literally you are like you always say the 20s are the best time of your life. They lie. It's literally not. Like you are figuring out your yes, you're figuring out who you are. You're like, you meet people, you start working, you this and that. Like, that is the fun. It also should be fun, right?
Yeah.
If you remove the pressure from it.
No, because the pressure is not on yet. When you're in the 20, your pressure is not on.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like if even now at 29, 30, whatever, like if you take the pressure out, it's fun, isn't it?
No, but taking the pressure out, I feel like it's an escape. But I think you have to survive the pressure to find your yes and no. Once you find your yes and no, then it's fun. It's very clear. You will pay for the drink that didn't charge you. It's easy. Now you're not conflicted. The problem is the society can push you, the should can push you to do something that you may wake up to realize, oh my God, I raped myself.
But you know what? Loneliness is also very powerful. You can forget your yes and no in a state of loneliness easily.
Agreed. And nobody should be that lonely. Nobody should.
But like the thing is like that is not true though.
But it's not
like
true.
You can say nobody should be that lonely, but like sometimes you'll date a shit guy because you just want a boyfriend.
Yeah. And that's okay. And that's okay. As long as you're not lying to yourself. You go and talk to someone who really don't feel like talking because you're alone, you're lonely, go talk to someone. That is okay, but you're not lying to yourself. You're not trying to make that something more than what it is. It is not pawning your yes and no. Your yes and no is intact. Like if I'm in the airport, I'm stuck for 8 hours. I look left and right in the lounge or something and somebody's there, I start talking. Thank you. It means nothing, but it was fun just getting to know, talking for a while. We'll never meet for the rest of our life. I am not giving you a moral judgment, but that will not compromise my yes and no. You understand? You need to go out, you need to have a boyfriend. Go have a boyfriend. Go meet somebody. And that's not the one. You're not lying to yourself. You understand? I'm saying, maybe it's too much, this subject.
Yeah.
I think your integrity of holding you true to you is a responsibility you must take seriously. And when that responsibility is held rightly, then life can be fun.
Something that I feel like reading this email, this is a pretty long email. I will forward it to you after this. But I just feel like so serious. So serious. And I get it, life is serious. I also, trust me, I don't have time to think about anybody else. I am too busy fretting and thinking about myself all the time, okay? But sometimes it's just like, stop it. It's also fun. It's all supposed to be fun.
It's also supposed to be fun, not only fun. I'll correct that statement.
Yeah.
To think life will always be fun.
Yeah, that's my mistake.
Yeah. No, there are some hard decisions to make, like saying no to your friend. That's a hard decision. And you have to do that for your well-being. Only then your fun is not an escape. Your fun is true. If not, fun can be an escape. I can do a great, and not that I do it, but somebody can do a great business deal, finish the day and go to the club and party and get drunk. Okay. But somebody can also get drunk to escape their failure. There's two different things, isn't it? I think I like your approach. Life should be fun, but today I'm saying the cost of it is your integrity. It's your yes and no. And only when your yes and no is right, it can be fun. If your yes and no is not there, it cannot be fun. It can become depression. Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure this girl, I haven't met her, but she did everything by the book. Looks like she did. She's a good girl. She studied. She went to university. She did everything. And probably she's waking up to realize it's not all it cracked up to be. It's not fun. So doing what the society or what you should do might go against your happiness, isn't it? Even though it makes you feel sad, you're not complying. But in order to eradicate that sadness, you might put yourself in a very bad place. I'm not saying deny it. Is there a biological clock? It is. All that I agree. But your life is your life, darling. It's yours. And maybe there are things that are beyond you. Maybe there are things you have to pay the price for it. I don't know. But I like what you said, you know. I like what you said. It should be fun. And I'm saying for it to be fun, your integrity must be kept. And for your integrity to be kept, your yes and no must be absolute. If I exaggerate.
And I think also there's just like a belief that maybe it's harder to have or not, but like that like it's still your life. You can make it whatever you want. Like I feel like I believe I can have whatever I want. I just need to sit and be lazy for like God knows how long before I finally and make it happen. But like I need to sit and be lazy and think and overthink and think and overthink and think and overthink. And then I'm like, okay, done. Let's do it. But like you can do that.
That's a technique,
like, it's still your life.
And that's my technique. That is mine. What she just said, that is mine. That is the law of creation. That is the science of meditation. This child has stolen my science and saying it as though it's hers.
I'm just anxious and overthinking. I'm like, enough with this shit. And then get up and do what needs to be done. But now I'm in the fretting stage, so I don't know how long it'll last.
I think the point we can make in this podcast is we all have a yes and no that we have to discover. And I think when we become right by that, I think life can be really fun. But like what you said, you probably have to go through the process to come to it. And that's living, darling. That is life. That is living. That you're sorting that out. You have to do this thing, do that thing. Maybe for this girl, she woke up and she realized, I've done all this. Actually, it doesn't mean that much. Now she might be able to discover what means to her.
But you know what? Now, because she's done all of this, she has a nice career. She probably has all that money. She's good, like, then she has like space to do the other things that she did. Just so what, you're 32.
Yeah. And she has paid the price to earn this freedom that she has come to. She has paid a price. She's right there. Now she can look forward to and live her heart out. It's like, what is the point of being rich if not gives you the freedom to do what you want? Not to check a price tag to buy something. Isn't that what it is?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Being rich is you don't check the price tag. You just buy.
I'm just like, I'm from the belief that, that this is like, and this is why people are so different, right? When you buy something nice, right? Like you say you buy a nice lotion or perfume or candle, whatever. I'm the kind of person to use it every day and burn it every day and then it finish. But then there's also the kind of people who just keep it.
That's me. My father was poor, Anba. My father was very poor.
Well, what's the point of keeping it?
I know. I'm your disciple in that. I'm trying to learn from you. I said my daughter should teach us how to have fun. But I think she had a great teacher. That was her dad.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know here?
No?
Here, Katie has a baby. It's 3 months old. Her name is Madhya. I think after you guys, it's the first time I'm playing with a child like how I used to play with you all. That's a chubby chick.
Girl dad.
Huh?
You're just a girl dad.
Yeah, and I'm missing it. And I'm missing you guys. Every day I play with her and I'm like, well, last time I did this is with my kids so long ago. And she's very
okay,
bossy.
let's wrap this up. Let's tie it with a nice little bow.
Okay, Appa go a bit.
She actually asked to keep her name anonymous. I think I said her name once.
Yeah,
we'll bleep it out.
Okay, this way.
How, just think about this person. This person is feeling lonely. This person's feeling, even in their career, it's autonomous. She don't have peers. Social circles not doing great. She's feeling the pressure. She feels like she's also putting that pressure on her sister. She's away from her family. Where does she start now?
You see, this pressure is not going to change. No, this pressure not going to change, Abhishek. Even for you, this pressure will not change. But as long as you are intact, you will ride through it beautifully. As long as you are intact. Remember this. I don't know what to respond about the pressure. At 31, somebody must think they should get married, should have a partner. Should. Remember the word should. Whether you want to have a partner, nobody's questioning it. You should have a career, whether you want to have a career. Like sometimes people say, I should have a job, but do you want to have a job? Maybe he just wants to loiter this whole life. That's his life. So, all that pressure, I'm saying, can only be survived rightly if your integrity of who you are, which you discover through your own yes and no, exist. If that integrity doesn't exist, this will run you over. It will make you do things that you regret in time. Somebody is so lonely, then suddenly they end up with somebody they feel disgusted with after some time. And that action has a deeper ramification, right? So I'm saying, for whatever she's going through, the time has come to find, what am I for, what am I against? Not as a mental choice, as a default. I am this person, I am not that person. And when that is intact, she can navigate this time rightly. I am not going to teach her how to find a relief. By right, she should be married. By right, she should do this, that. The should is there.
But it's a should if you want it.
Then the integrity comes into play, right? That means your eyes looking at you. What is it about you? You cannot help it. You can't be with someone you don't love. You can't even befriend someone who's not right. And that's the price you pay. And that's the glory you live out too, isn't it? So I think the question is, am I being true? This way, and let me finish this. True not to an idea, to how I find myself. You understand? How I find myself. I have to be true. Like certain food, I can eat, certain food I cannot eat. I'm allergic to. Certain things I can do, certain things I'm not. So I am bounded by a certain predisposition. So what is your predisposition that you need to be right by? And if you can learn to be right by that, which is your yes and no, you will survive the pressure no matter what happens. Right? No matter what happens. If not, somebody is married, all you are feeling is I'm not married, because they are married. You're feeling the reflective reality. If not, hey, you marry, good for you. You know, good for, like somebody has a child, good for you. You don't feel like, oh my God, I don't have a child.
I think it's human to look at someone with a child and be like, oh, it'd be nice to have a baby. It would be nice to, but also like understanding that, like, maybe not yet for me.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few years for me.
So you are looking from one point, only from the outside reflection. Also look from your internal point of your personal reflection. Then it is easy. Then it's easy it's easy to make the distinction. You understand?
Yeah.
If not, you are blinded. If not, the should is blinding you, and the blinding effect of the should might make you do something that will hurt you even more. Right? Like if you take this girl, for instance, she's a doctor, she's 31 years old. I'm so glad that you have been true to you. You didn't just jump and go with any person or marry anyone. You kind of like kept your integrity. I'm like, you should applaud her, not say, I'm so sorry you're not married. I'm so sorry.
I saw this thing on online that was like, think about it truly. Would you have rather met the love of your life at 20 or at 30? I was like, I would have liked my 20s for me.
I can't argue with that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Miss
If I'm going to be married to you forever, let me have my 20s, you know?
That is so Apshi, isn't it? Huh? That is Apshi's signature. Doesn't do much. So how is it
But
going
I
over
mean,
there?
like, I will also say that, like, girl, I feel it too. Like, I'm just a couple of years younger than you, but I feel it too. Like, everybody feels it. You are not the only person who is feeling it. Not that you think that way, but like, I feel it. All my friends feel it. And also, like, I have friends who are married and divorced by 30 and then married again. And so it's like you never know how it goes, you know?
The only way to survive it is personal integrity. You pay attention to you, and that you cannot be compromised at any cost. If it even means that you don't live out to the should.
Yeah, and it's like she talks about her sister here. Like, if you like having a sister, having someone to talk to, that helps. Having a friend, that helps. Like, you're not alone. And I would think as a doctor, you'd be like helping people all the time. Like, I would be feeling really good about myself.
Not really. I don't think so. It's a tough job. It's a tough job. And
It's a
most
tough
often
job.
doctors, they go to them and they're in pain. When they're okay, they leave. They're not having long-term relationships. It's just a relationship with their illness.
That's true.
And that job swallows you out. Swallows you,
Yeah.
eats you up. There's nothing else left most often. I think this is pretty good. So maybe
not
now
bad.
the question that you have to ask anyone is, hey, what is your level of integrity? Not just how you're doing. Have you been true to your yes and no? When we meet somebody, you say, how are you doing? I think the first thing is to check is, hey, how is your yes and no going? How's your integrity? You good? Okay. Then what's happening? Then what should you be doing? I think that's how it should be, isn't it?
Mm.
If not, very quickly you can be thrown into an abyss or experience a false happiness because you are doing what you should do, right? But I agree with you, life should be fun, but I'm just adding one thing more to it. Pay attention to the personal integrity, then anything happens is fun. It's your life. Hey, this is how I'm going to go. This is how I'm going to live. This is how I'm going to survive. This is how I'm going to thrive. And the beauty about this is it's in your hands. You have a role. You are not helpless. I think some of this should is because you're so helpless. There's so many things has to happen for you to be married, to have children, to have a career, to have this. So many things should happen. And it feels like it's outside of my hand, and maybe that's the distress. But if you understand that my integrity is the most important thing, then something is in your hands now. You will survive those pressure. Yes, madam?
All right. I will survive. I will survive. Okay, I'm not going to sing. I can't sing.
She's going to go
thank
see
you
Beyonce.
so much for the
She's
question.
going to go see Beyonce tomorrow. Tell her I said hi.
I'm not going to mention you.
Why not?
Okay?
Why
It's
not?
all about me and my queen. Me and my religion. This is a religious experience for me. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, darling. Appa, miss you. Love you.
I'm not saying bye. We're just cutting the episode.
Okay, just cut it.